welcome to Beauty on a Budget, and to a video I've really been looking forward to making. My two friends, Carla and Cindy over at Two Real Chicks, tagged me to do this, and I thought it was so unusual. I was so pleased that they tagged me. It's just something a little bit different. It's a test. It's products that have stood the test of time, that have been out for quite a while, that we use, and possibly our mums and our grandmoms used to use. And I picked 6 things that I use regularly, that I know have, you know, been around quite a while. So I'll link Carla and Cindy's channel below, Two Real Chicks. They're lovely girls. If you don't know them, I'm sure you must do, but they're best friends. They've been friends for years, and you could tell they've been friends for years. You know, if you've got a friend like that where you can finish each other's sentences, you know what the other one's going to say, you know the other one's taste, and one bounces off the other one. They're just, as a team, they're just great. I just love them, and they're both lovely girls individually, but I love them together. And they're one of those videos, when they make their videos, you know, sometimes at the end of the day you think, oh, I'll have to check the rest tomorrow, I'm so tired, and then one from Cindy and Carla pop up, I go, oh, I'll watch this one before I go to bed. They do that, dear. They're just lovely. I just love them to bits. So I'll link their channel below. You'll be able to see their video. And thank you ever so much for tagging me, girls. I'm really chuffed. Now let's go on with it, because I'm gabbling again. So, things that have stood the test of time. Now, the first thing that I thought of was Nivea. Now, Nivea has got so many products out now, including the thing that I'm testing out on my eye bags, and bath gels and shaving lotions and men's things. They've got so much. Their range is huge. But this is what it all started with. This is the original Nivea. This is a new one. It's a lovely, lovely cream, and I honestly can see no difference in it. It's very thick, and if you've got really dry, I don't use it as an everyday thing, but I love it on my knees and on my elbows. I love it on my backs of my hands. And you know, when you just get dry, sometimes, especially with the central heating, it just works so well. It's such a lovely special cream, if you know what I mean. It's just, I love all their products. Nivea Soft is the same sort of thing, but just a much softer cream. But this is the original, and it's still every bit as good as it was. My mum used this, and my grandma used this, and I think it's like tradition. It's gone through so many families, hasn't it, the original Nivea? Now, I've got my little notes here. So the first Nivea came out, there's some really old photographs of this as well about, the first Nivea came out in 1882. Can you believe that? 1882. And look how far it's come now. But still, the original one is still going. So this is definitely one that stood the test of time. What's my next thing now? I always use a roll-on deodorant. You know that if you watch when I'm doing my finds, my empties, I always use a roll-on. But do you know who the first was to make a roll-on? It was Mum. So this is the original roll-on deodorant. It was in a slightly different package. But if I can just get my notes, I wanted to see, I really found this interesting, because if Carla and Cindy hadn't, I wouldn't have looked into this, and it's so interesting. The first, excuse me, the first one was a cream. It came in cream form of a deodorant, and that came out in 1888. But then that carried on as a cream. Then in 1940, one of their employees Helen Discernans, I think her name is. I couldn't quite pronounce that one. She got the idea from using a ballpoint pen. How would it work to distribute deodorant? And they took it on. The Rollin people, Mum took it on, and then it came out in 1952 as a Rollin through her idea of following the ballpoint pen. So this is the original Rollin deodorant. Still sold now. Very, very different packaging, obviously. But that's certainly, so that was first come 1888 when they first had the cream. But this one was 1952. So that stood the test of time. Excuse me. Now, my soap. I love this soap. This is not as old as the other products. Well, it hasn't gone back as far as the other products. But I love Dove soap. I absolutely love it. You know I always use it, guys. It's so lovely, and if you kind of research Dove soap and see the dermatologists that really approve of it, and I know I've got some friends, I've got a friend that's got really bad eczema, and her dermatologist has suggested Dove. It's so nice. It's different. It is cream in a bar. It really is lovely. I love Dove soap. And that came out, I've been using it for, this came out in 1957, so it's only 2 years younger than me, so it's pretty old. So it came out in 1957. I would say I've been using Dove, I'd say since the late 70s. Before that I used to use the Pears soap, which I could have bought out today as well because that's stood the test of time. But Dove really has, because it's grown, and like the Nivea, it's not just a bar of soap now. It's everything. It's shampoos, deodorants, everything, shower gels, everything. And I really like all of it. I don't always like the whole range of it. Sometimes some of the things I find a little bit overpowering. The body creams and so forth seem to dominate the smell, you know, even if you put a perfume on, that Dove dominates the smell. So I'm not always keen on everything but the soap, and I use the sensitive one. Absolutely, absolutely. So that's been since 1957. Now, the next thing is, if I said to you, what hairspray would you say has been around for ages, is still one of the top sellers, if not the top seller in a hairspray, and I can tell you it's been around since 1960, so it's just 5 years younger than me. And I'm sure you'd know what it would be. It's ELNETTE. My mum used this all the time. In our bathroom when I was a little girl, it was only ELNETTE that was ever on the side. So naturally, from a young teenager, I started pinching my mum's and using hers, and then I went on to buy it myself. I used lots of different hairsprays, but nothing tops this. This is a lovely hairspray. It is a really lovely hairspray. So 1960. So that's definitely stood the test of time, hasn't it? Because it's still one of the top ones. Now then, I don't go with fashion as far as things, perfumes and eau de colognes and so forth go. I never go with the fashion. I go with what smells nice, and I can never understand when you know, people say, oh, that smells grannified, or that smells, you know, if my nose hasn't altered. If I liked a perfume when I was 20, it's more or less I'm still going to like that smell, because that smell appeals to me. Now, it might be that it's not the in perfume anymore, but I never sort of really worry about that. I just like a perfume that I like smells nice, and that Baz says, oh, you smell nice, you know, and that's it as far as I go. But one of the ones that is tried and tested, most definitely, that my mum used, my gran used, and this one has been out since 1934, and it's by Elizabeth Arden. Now, a lot of people first of all think the Red Door, because she's been out since 1910. She started her company called Red Door in 1910. That's where the perfume comes from, the name. But this is the one that I like, and this has come out, I'm looking down because my notes are here. This one came out in 1934, and it's Bluegrass, and I still love this, and it's not talked about much today. I wore it when I was young, my mum wore it, and I still really love the smell of Bluegrass. I do. I really love it. I've always got a bottle of this on the go. I probably have about one a year, because I keep my various perfumes on the side, and whatever I feel like that morning I put on. But probably I go through about one of these a year, 10 months a year, because I love it. It's when I will purchase again and again and again, and I would lose count ages ago of how many bottles I bought of this. So that's been 1934, so that's even older than me. Now the last thing is mega older than me. And I couldn't believe this when I found it. I like body sprays too. You know I love my bathroom stuff, guys. And when I was looking this up, I thought, no, that can't be that old. So I researched it. And again, I don't go with, this is the current one you've got to have because it's trendy. If I like a smell, I like a smell. And I love the smell of roses. And I love the smell of lavender and lilac and honeysuckle and lily of the valley. I love those sort of smells. And I think the name that certainly comes to my mind with those things is Yardley. Yardley was always the king of the floral smell, with the soap bars. Now obviously it was Perfume, now it comes in a body spray as well. This one is English Rose, and this smell of Yardley's has been out for years and years and years. I wouldn't say it was a terrific, probably top seller anymore, but it's certainly a stable seller, and has been, now wait for this one guys, it has been since 1770. The Yardley family, Yardley of London, bought the English Rose smell out in 1770. Oh my goodness. Now, that's standing the test of time. Of course, it's come a long way. Really interesting if you Google it. You know, it tells the story of the original Mr. Yardley and how it's gone down the line and how it came about. And I love looking and then doing the photos, Google, and then put it over to photos, and it goes down the really old packaging, because that fascinates me, anything like that. I really love doing anything like that. And some of the packaging is really old, and you know, but still, it's still got those same roses, and it's still, I've got so many smells on now, guys, I don't know what to put next. I love it. You see, I love the smell of roses. I love anything that smells of roses or gardenia or freesia or honeysuckle or lily of the valley. I love all those smells. I don't like too musky smells. I don't like those kind of smells. On me, I'm sure, you know, they suit a lot of people, but for me, I don't like them. I like something sort of floral, real florally. I'm a real florally sort of person. So yes, 1770. My goodness, who would have thought? I would never have thought of owning that, you know, unless the girls had asked me to tag me in this. So I've really enjoyed it, and I've really enjoyed this week looking these things up. It's been really great, and it's really interesting for me too. So I hope you liked that one, guys. That's I really enjoyed that. Thanks, Carla. Thanks, Cindy. I will link those girls below. They are an absolute hoot. That's the only word. They're a hoot, and they play off each other. You know, like pairs of comedians, and I just love them. I love the way they are together. I love their friendship, and they're great girls. They're great girls. So I'm going to link them below. So if you don't know them, shoot over there and see them. You'll be really glad you did. Okay guys, so thank you ever so much for watching that. I'm going to put all this away now. I'll see you again on Tuesday. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to keep you in suspense for a change. I'll see you Tuesday. You take care of yourselves now. I love you all. Bye. Bye.